Pretty much,
Hialeah has a rap scene.
huge.
It's actually it's
A
like
little too big, if anything.
I think it's the most underground rap scene I've seen in a while. Like
Definitely, bro. Like, is that I go on Twitter right now? I could just show you like 5 rappers that are just trying to that probably just started rapping like what, a year ago.
Yeah.
Like it's literally infected with like too many, bro. I think it's too many, to be honest. That's why I guess not a lot of people from Hialeah are making it, or maybe a lot of people from Hialeah are just not supporting. But honestly, I think my brother,
J-Starz.
He's
huge in Hialeah.
I would say he's one of the biggest, bro.
Yeah. I don't know anybody.
And I don't want to like dicky or like be freaking boasting and shit about my brother because he's my brother, but like for sure.
No, but he's doing a fucking amazing
like,
job.
He has like you could see it in the views and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you guys want to search him up, J-Stars. Definitely, you can see the views and everything.
And he's been doing this for a good minute. Like, this is not some new...
Yeah, my brother's been rapping before me. So he's been rapping since he was in high school.
I mean, you can see the evolution, too, in his music.
Yeah, like, definitely, like...
It's a huge change from, like, when he started. And when he started, like, here in Hialeah, he was a good fucking rapper, man.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people like him. A lot of people have asked me personally, like, damn, bro, why hasn't your brother made it? Like, bro, if I could tell you how many times I got that question. It's insane, bro.
For people who just have no idea what we're talking about right now, I mean, the rap scene in Hialeah is pretty unique because we come from a culture that you really don't see anywhere else.
Definitely.
In the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the culture in Hialeah, the Cuban culture in Hialeah, is unique in the sense that it's Cuba, but it's in the U.S., which means it's all the traditions and the experiences that people had in Cuba. They bought it here,
right?
And they mixed it with American culture. So you'll see, people driving a Mercedes, for example, but at the same time, there's a guy next to you selling, avocados, right?
Avocados on every other block.
And there's just every block you see a guy selling avocados,
or those
right?
green things. What are those things called?
Those are amazing. Yeah,
I forgot the name.
I forgot the name of it too. See, even Cubans forget the name of that stuff.
They sell that on every block on 49th Street.
Oh my god, I love them.
They're fire.
I love them. I'm gonna go buy some after this. By the way,
freaking guarapo. They be selling guarapo.
Yes. So the thing about Hialeah is just how weird it is compared to the rest of the world. So obviously, when you listen to rap from Hialeah, it's different from rap that you hear anywhere else. I highly recommend, like, if you're a hip hop head.
Right.
You really gotta, check this out because this is something that's not really happening anywhere else. And I think it's just about as underrated a rap scene as you're ever gonna find, right? And so in terms of, rap in general, I'm really inspired. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really am inspired by a guy like Lil B.
Definitely.
I really am, because of the fact that people, talk about how his music isn't good and they make all sorts of claims about him. But the truth is, he's put out so much content. And he's really not doing anything bad. Like, he's promoting, positivity and just, being a good person.
I love Lil B.
In general. He's being himself, right?
Holy crap.
And he's made it. He's made it. He's basically the most successful troll that hip-hop has ever had.
I think he honestly made troll rap. Like,
he did.
And now it's a thing, which is crazy to me.
And he set the pace for mumble rap as well.
For sure.
Let's not forget that.
I remember when I first started listening to Lil B, it was probably because of my brother. And he had showed me a song, or I forgot. Wait, I don't know what song it was called. I think it was called "Pretty Bitch" or some shit like that.
Was it "Eat the Ass"? It wasn't "Eat the Ass," right? That wasn't out yet.
That was when we were chilling and
shit. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Life changing.
I remember, and I'm like, yo, like, this is so left.
Yeah.
Like, it's so different. I guess that's why he made it. Like, it was so different from everything that people are just like mind blown. Like, yo, is he really making music like this? And then the wording that he's using, he's calling himself pretty bitch. Like,
I mean,
the way he's dressing.
He came out with an album that said "I'm gay."
He's literally breaking doors down. Like,
he doesn't. I mean, what he's doing is like setting the pace for people to understand that hip hop, right? It's a culture,
right?
But it doesn't. It has to be set in a way where you can be yourself and you can like be real, right?
Once you're yourself, other people start doing it.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Right.
Because once Lil B started making music like that, there was definitely a huge amount of people started rapping like Lil B or just making videos or the amount of music you put out. Because I think Lil B tops anybody. I don't think there's any artist who has made.
Well, Charles Hamilton has made a whole lot of music, but I don't know if he's made more than Lil B, because the problem with Lil B
that's actually a really good question.
And Charles Hamilton has started doing something. I don't know if he was doing.
He's going super left now too. Like
he's freestyling.
Yeah, he's only freestyling now. And that's actually Lil B's thing. Mm-hmm. If you know Lil B's music,
that's how he's able to push out so much content. He freestyles.
It's called bass freestyle, where he says that his first take is gonna be the take. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how it sounds.
It doesn't matter if you make a mistake.
He believes that that's how you felt at the moment, so that's the most authentic thing you're gonna get from him. So it's like, you know what? Fuck it, bass freestyle. I'm gonna do it one time. However it comes out, that's the song. Which is pretty. I guess it's creative.
I think so, yeah.
In its own way.
Very.
Which is like...
It's actually very creative.
It's definitely creative.
If you think about it, it's actually a form of genius, to be honest with you. And I know people are going to hear this and be like, you're saying Lil B is a genius? Like
he is. Believe it or not, he
is. But you're focusing on the rap. You're not focusing on how this stuff was given to the people.
Or marketed toward them. Or like just the way his mind is working. Like
yeah. I mean, look at him on Twitter. This is a guy who has 1.4 million followers. But he's following 1.6 million people.
Like he doesn't care. Like I love Lil B because of that. Like he's super just like he's down to do anything. He's positivity. I remember the time they jumped him. Yeah. At Rolling Loud. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen that.
With A Boogie.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was sad. But yo, when he got up, amazing. Like he got up like Jesus Christ. Like there was whatever. And I remember he got on stage and he's like, oh look, I just got jumped, guys. Da da da. A Boogie and them just jumped me. I can't even perform for you. Like Lil B just doesn't care, bro. Yeah. Like he's just gonna say how it is. Like there is no street code to him. Like he's just himself. That's why he probably made it, bro.
And he did something that no other rapper was doing, because it wasn't just a freestyle, and it wasn't just something that was being given to the people on a consistent basis, like more than any other rapper I can name, because it was a freestyle.
And he's dropping videos. Like
exactly. It's a music video.
Like it's not just music. Yes. Like he's dropping music video back to back.
It's like a whole album that has videos to every single
visuals for amazing. Everything. He has visuals for everything. So it's like Lil B was definitely trendsetter, like extreme, bro. And people don't give him his flowers, bro. But I'm here to give him his flowers, and Lil B, man, you're the man, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, don't knock Lil B. Respect the bass god.
Respect the hustle. Like, respect what he's doing, bro.
And if you want to show your support, let him fuck your bitch. And moving on. Lil B did set, he did set some trends, and he did, fundamentally pave the road for a lot of rappers, I think, that are doing something similar to what he's doing. I think people learned a lot from him in terms of, like, just how you market your stuff.
To this day, I hear people that sound like Lil B. His ideas were very left, and people took it. Like, they rocked with it.
Now, people are scared at the same time.
Right.
Especially old heads, right? They see something like Lil B, they're like, you're watering down hip-hop.
Yeah, you're watering
It's watered down content. Right? But I think it depends. I think it's only a problem if it becomes, like, the base of hip-hop. If it becomes, like,
he's not.
It's not. It's a subgenre of
He's
hip-hop,
definitely a subgenre.
Right? I think hip-hop is just expanding, and people just don't understand that. They see...
There's too many subgenres.
They see, like, a mumble rapper, for example. Not going to name anybody specific, but just a mumble rapper in general, and they're like, this is rap now.
Yeah, like...
But that's not what it is. Rap is huge. It's bigger than it's ever been, and that's the problem. There's underground rappers that are spitting, profound, deep shit. There's mainstream rappers that are doing their own thing.
For sure.
There's mumble rappers. There's, drugged up motherfuckers, right? And there's all kinds of things going on.
You name it, yeah. I think, honestly... Wait, what were we talking about now?
Yeah, we were talking about mumble rappers.
Mumble rappers. Well, when it comes to mumble rap, I'm a fan of it. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of, like, all mumble rap. I'm a fan of some of it. Like, some are cool, like the nice beats, and they flow to it nice or whatever. I'm like, all right, this is cool. But like you said, like, it doesn't have to be the main bass. Like, it's just a thing you want to hear, like, when you're riding around or you're in the club. Like, all right, cool, whatever. But that is a problem, that people think it's the main base of it. Like, bro, there's a million genres. Like, just pick whatever you want to listen to.
I think another thing that people are scared of when it comes to mumble rap is that they think that since it's easier, right? They think it's easier.
Right. They think,
which it isn't necessarily.
It isn't.
Because if you do it right, it's like it's your own creation.
Exactly.
Like, you're creating something new. You're adding to the culture, right?
Right.
So if you do that, it really isn't easy. What's easy is when you come out and you have the same flow and you're you're buying somebody else's beats. And
that sounds the exact same as every other beat.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And that's why people have so much beef with like SoundCloud rappers because they're scared of they're not scared, but they don't like people that aren't original. They don't like people that aren't breaking boundaries and adding to the culture.
Right.
People that are just there for a quick buck and not really doing anything.
And that's a lot of people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, nowadays, people just want money.
Yeah, but that's the problem, though, because, see, people think that that's what hip-hop is just going to become. What people don't realize is that people want to listen to something that's good.
But you know what's crazy? Not to interrupt you. MF Doom.
Mm-hmm.
You know who MF Doom is, right?
No.
Wow, that's a mind blower. All right,
Yeah.
whatever. MF Doom is a dude that he has a Doom mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wears it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a super dope rapper. Like he's definitely not mumble rap. He's old.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's from like the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And he still makes, I don't think if he still makes music, but if you're a Doom fan, he's definitely left with like he's on some super lyrical, like, you know what I mean? Like he's super lyrical with his stuff, but I already forgot where I was trying to go off now.
Yeah, but he is. I mean, all
what,
right.
what were we saying?
Yeah, we were talking about he's not a mumble rapper. He's doing something new, right?
Yeah, but I forgot my point now. God damn. What was I coming with the MF Doom part?
Regardless, I mean, mumble rap is a subgenre of hip hop, and people want to see good music, regardless, right? So if you talk about how
my fault. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason you're talking about people getting paid for rap.
Mm-hmm.
He's like super about hip hop and music, and he said it like not so long ago. He was like, "Oh, I just rap to make money.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. Like I'm not here to do this and that or that." And he's like respected by like MCs, like Mos Def.
Mos Def is
like people like
legendary.
That. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like he's respected by them. Like Mos Def was on a video saying, "Yo, MF Doom would destroy Lil Wayne in like seconds," like type shit. So trust me, his respect there is huge. But he just said it. Like that's what I'm saying. It's just it depends who you are. You could be the dopest MC, and you could just be like, "Yo, I just do it for money. I don't really care about this." So
yeah, well, a lot of people in hip hop, like a lot of them want fame as well. You know, it's some like for and I hear rappers talk about this all the time, especially if they're already famous. They're like, I want the money, but not the clout.
Right.
I want the money, but not the fame.
Right.
And I think there's a reason why they're saying that, because I really do think fame is the most misunderstood and most ridiculous thing that you can want, because fame can really destroy people. People don't understand that. Fame is having the world looking at you on a 24-hour basis.
Let's put it like this. Let's say if you're a regular person and you get into a fight, nobody will know. If you're a famous person that gets into a fight,
it's a catastrophe.
The whole world knows, and it's fucking World War III, like for you. And it's like, what the hell? I just had a fight with somebody. Like,
well, and strangers always wanting to ask you for things, and just the weirdness that comes along with that, and now people think that you're responsible for other people, and you have to talk differently. I don't think that's accurate.
You can't be yourself.
I don't think that's right. I don't think we should expect people who are famous to be responsible
or to be respectful. Like you're still an asshole. Like just because I'm famous,
you are who you are, and I don't think that fame should mean that you have this responsibility to kids or whatever.
You're entitled.
Unless you have a specific platform that's directed at kids, right?
Yeah.
Then you might have a responsibility because you're saying this is for kids. But if you're just a rapper, you don't have a responsibility to kids,
real, like,
to anyone really.
Right.
You're doing what you want to do, and if somebody.
It's art.
It's art. And I don't think that there's genuine, rules in art unless it's like asking for somebody to get hurt.
Unless your demographic is toward a certain age.
Exactly, yeah.
Other than that, dude, just make art. Do whatever you want.
Or just being like explicitly an asshole, like when you're trying to destroy a culture, you're trying to
that's different.
Fuck things up for other people. If you're trying to harm other people, right, then that's a problem too. But like I think it's kind of debatable too, because rap has a battle culture. Right?
Oh yeah, battle rap. I love battle rap,
which is legit. I mean,
super dope.
It's highly influential. A lot of rappers that we see nowadays, they came from the battle rap scene. They're battle rappers. They made it. Like you look at a guy like Big L from back in the '90s. If you check out Big L, that guy was a battle rapper,
monster.
Look at his bars.
His bars were battle rap.
Who has better punchlines than that guy?
Yeah, definitely.
Who can anyone in a battle versus a guy like him would probably get obliterated. I mean, he was a savage.
Yeah, it sucks that he had to go, bro. Like, if he would have been here, bro, still,
man,
golly, he would have been destroying. He
probably
probably would have been in battle rap.
Yeah. The skills that guy had were amazing, man.
Yeah, his songs were disgusting.
It's a fucking tragedy that
I like Ebonics. I like that song.
Oh, that was fire. Yeah. So in terms of fame, man, I really don't think it's worth having.
Honestly,
I
bro,
really don't.
I can't say, because once we have it, it's like, I guess everybody's life is different.
Yeah.
Some people.
The problem is it's
are
addictive.
we gonna say that everybody doesn't like fame?
No, that's not true. I think they do like it.
Some people.
I think the problem is that fame is a double-edged sword.
Right.
And so now the problem is that you have to maintain.
But how famous are we talking though?
It depends. See, that's a good question because if you're talking about just someone.
Bro, there's different levels. Like
Exactly.
we're talking Kim K famous.
Okay, see, then you can't go anywhere.
That's insane.
You can't do anything.
Or
Your
we
life
could be
is
talking
completely
about
blocked.
like, let me see, who's mid famous? Like
Who's mid-famous?
Like not too famous, but you know him. Like not on a Kim K level.
Right.
Like.
Maybe like someone local, like a local politician, right?
Right.
Like the mayor of Hialeah or whatever.
Right. Right. Like you know who he is, but people are not going crazy.
Right.
So I mean, it's I guess depending on your life, how your life is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being famous with that, like on some Kim K level, that would be a little insane. Like
yeah, that would.
I think it would take some years to actually like understand how famous you actually are.
I think that's a tragedy.
To be able to go outside and there's paparazzis at you, I don't know how I would feel about that.
Look at a guy like Kanye West. Now Kanye West is different because he has.
Dude, we gotta talk about Kanye.
He has
how can we forget?
He has struggled with like mental health.
Yeah, so
I mean, he has bipolar disorder.
So are we judging him?
No, I'm not gonna judge him.
Right.
Mean, but I am gonna observe what's happening, like non-judgmentally.
Let's talk about Kanye.
Because Kanye has been someone who, I mean, I don't blame him at all. Like when the paparazzi is outside of your house, that's stalking.
He's pissed off.
I cannot see why that's legal. I think that should be completely illegal for the paparazzi to be posted outside of your house in your property.
Yeah.
Right? And just taking pictures of you trying to get information about your kids.
Yeah.
It's stalking.
It
should not be legal. I think TMZ.
I feel his pain for sure. Yeah, I feel his pain.
I don't like TMZ.
I hate them.
I do not like TMZ. I have no respect for you if you work at TMZ. Like I just have to say that straight up. That's the only judgment I'm gonna make because if you think that it's right to make a living punishing people that are
they go a little too far.
They fuck it up completely.
Kanye got into a fight with them at the airport. Like on YouTube, you can see it. That shit's hilarious. Like
at his house too.
And he gets pissed off. He's like, "Yo, you guys are fucking following me." Like, How
do you feel about like the mental illness and hip hop?
Oh my god, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Like that shit is spiking up like crazy.
It's rampant.
It's a topic now.
And the drugs they take cause it.
And people are using it as a rollout. Like a rollout after album. Like Big Sean, he recently came out with like a new, I think it was an album or like a new single or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And his rollout was the whole mental health thing, bro. He's talking about how like the way he's eating and like he's just using all these things, and it's like, are some people just faking it for the rollout to sell more records and or to be more so people will respect them or whatever? Like that's the thing I don't understand. Is Kanye faking it?
No, I don't think Kanye's faking it.
If
he was faking it, that is the best
lie
I've ever seen in my life because he has bipolar disorder written all over the way that he acts.
Have you seen his interviews?
I've seen his interviews.
Have you seen the interview with Charlemagne, the old one?
They look like he's having manic episodes in the interviews. Now, this is not to judge him. It's not.
No. Of course, we're cool with Kanye.
And by the way, Kanye is a really smart person. By the way,
definitely.
That's the other thing.
His creativity is skyrocketing.
So if you have someone who's having a manic episode and at the same time
is a creative genius,
they're a creative genius and they're incredibly famous and people look up to them and they notice that and they try to embody that. It's almost impossible to manage.
It's hard, bro.
So when you saw that thing that happened in the stage...
with Jay-Z?
With Kanye, when he was talking about Jay-Z's... Like, don't...
When he stormed out.
Exactly, right.
That's nothing. What about the time he went on TMZ?
What happened when he went on TMZ?
You don't remember?
No, what happened?
Bro, that he's talking about... that was the time around the whole Donald Trump thing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
About Donald Trump...
and Kanye. He's tweeting.
I don't mind it, but like I mean, all right. This is getting into Trump territory now. This is a little something different.
That was a segue.
Now, as far as Trump, I think that both sides push it a little bit too far. I think that people who are on the left, they reach.
Right.
They reach. Like they start making some claims that are unsubstantiated, right? And a lot of them that are actually valid, right?
Okay.
Like allowing kids to be in cages. I don't care if Obama was doing it before.
It's still wrong.
It's still fucked up, and it has to be addressed now because he's the current president.
Yeah,
right?
Like it or not.
The idea of building a wall. Cubans swim 90 miles to. Well, they don't swim, but they fucking
make a raft.
They make a raft,
and they're out of there. Yep.
Exactly. So I don't think a wall is going to stop that.
Prevent that.
I think it's a waste of money, especially when you consider that most people that come here, or maybe even not most, but a lot of people that come here that are undocumented, what they do is they get a visa and they overstay their visa. They just stay here.
And they
go through a plane. They go in legally, and they just stay after that.
Right.
A wall is not going to do anything to prevent that. So that makes no sense. He's increasing spending. Right. One thing I do like is that he's standing up to political correctness, which I have a problem with political correctness. I think it's ridiculous. But at the same time, he has his own form of political correctness.
Yeah.
Because like the right has their own political correctness too.
Right.
You know?
I feel like Trump, I feel like people used to like him back then.
They did.
Now that he's president, nobody's liking him. But honestly, I don't really like what Trump's doing with the kids and stuff, like you said.
I mean, I wouldn't vote for the guy, but I don't want to overreach either. I don't want
to say he's the devil.
Yeah.
And this and that, because I feel like every presidents
have done horrific things.
Exactly.
Listen, all right, Bush has done way much more harm than Trump ever did. Bush, we started a war.
Iraq,
right? Afghanistan, all that good stuff, and we just, destroyed lives, destabilized an entire area, paved the way for ISIS to exist, and just spent so much money. He's a Republican.
George Bush, I know.
Republicans are supposed to be the people that want to spend less money.
Okay.
They want to have a small government.
Right.
Bush created a huge government, a huge military industrial complex.
Wasting a lot of money on armies and all that crap.
And Trump is increasing military spending, which I hate.
Right.
I hate the idea of that. And trying to cut at the same time, things that really aren't going to save us that much money.
Trump thinks climate change is
a hoax.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous.
Bro. Come on, dude.
I mean, the science could not be more clear.
Come on, dude. Like,
about
what's
that.
up with that? Like,
but the problem is there's so many conspiracy theories and so much bullshit in the way. I think the Russia thing. I mean, that's
another thing. Putin or whatever.
Putin, yeah. Oh my god,
bro.
I think it's sort of ridiculous in a certain sense because I think there's some things there, but there's no magic bullet. There's no there's nothing that's directly saying like, all right, him.
It's just
and
different.
Putin,
like, there's no exact fact, like right there in our face.
Right.
Like we'll never really know.
There are some.
What about that guy that got murdered?
Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Oh man, we can talk about that. Yeah.
What was his deal? I don't really know much about.
Well, Jeffrey Epstein was.
I know he was on some.
He's a billionaire.
He got charged with what again?
Pedophilia.
Little girls trafficking, human trafficking?
Well, how do I put this? He was very rich. He was a very rich man, and he was connected to.
He was a billionaire?
Yes, and he was connected to Trump, and he was connected to Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein, they flew together on his plane called the Lolita Express. Lolita Express is, by the way, that's a weird name to have for a plane when we're talking about pedophiles.
Yeah.
Because Lolita is based on a movie by my favorite director, which is Stanley Kubrick.
Okay.
And it's a movie about a guy who falls in love with an underage girl.
Oh my god.
Like, I think he's marrying her. He's with her mom.
Okay.
And he ends up falling in love with the girl. So it's a movie about pedophilia, and he named the plane after that. And he took 41 trips in that plane with Jeffrey Epstein. Right, who is,
Right.
And now we all know that he had an island. Jeffrey Epstein had a private island where he would have these girls, he would send them over. It was Pedophile Island. That's literally what it was. I mean, you don't need more conspiracy theories than that, right?
But this is fact.
But this is a fact. This is a clear fucking fact.
How is this proven?
Now, we can't prove
that
Bill Clinton was having sex with these girls in the plane unless there's like a direct evidence.
But he was there.
But he was there. He was there. And they found these... This is another thing that happened. They searched Jeffrey Epstein's house after he died,
Okay.
And we could talk about his death later, but I want to really...
Yeah, because I have no idea what
I really want to let you see this because there's these images, there's these portraits that were in his house.
Oh my god.
And one was of Bush, right? George W. Bush, like
his dad?
The second. No.
The second one. Okay.
The Iraq War.
Right. The son.
Right. The 9/11 Bush.
Yeah.
And then we also have Bill Clinton. So he had a portrait of both of them. Now the Bill Clinton portrait was Bill Clinton in a dress, in a seat. Right?
In a dress?
He was in a dress, in a seat. It's a portrait, not a picture, but it's a portrait.
Right, a portrait.
And he's doing something like this where he's pointing his finger out at you, sort of like in a flirtatious way.
Okay.
So that's a very weird thing for him to have there, right? And
super
weird thing for him to have.
Bill Clinton in a dress.
And now the Bush one is even creepier in my opinion, right? Because we can debate why he has the Clinton one, but the Bush one seems crystal clear to me. The Bush one is Bush, and he's sitting down on the floor. And he has like these two paper planes, right? And you see these two like almost like what is that game where you stack things up?
Jenga,
right? And there's the Jenga towers are sort of collapsed.
9/11.
So it sort of it looks representative of 9/11. It's almost undeniable, right?
Right.
I don't want to promote conspiracy theories, but this is real shit that they're having.
For sure.
And a guy like Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know how connected he was to a guy like George Bush, but he was already connected to 2 presidents that we have now. So I don't even know what to tell you.
I heard he knew a lot.
I think he did know a lot,
and they killed him for that.
I don't.
Could have been that.
I look. The thing
Wait,
is,
did he even? What was it? What he said? They said he got murdered.
They look. All right. The official story, right?
Okay.
The mainstream story is that he committed suicide, right? That's the mainstream story. Is that he hung himself.
Right.
They said he was in suicide watch. They're like, how is he going to commit suicide in suicide watch? They wouldn't let that happen, but he wasn't. He was moved from suicide watch, and there
to a cell with people.
To a cell. I don't know. I don't think it
wasn't it a cell with some super buff dude.
I'm not sure, but I do know that they said he committed suicide. Now, one weird thing that happened is that when they did his autopsy, they found broken bones in his neck. Right now, the main idea is that can happen if you hang yourself.
Right.
But it's more prominent. It shows up more when somebody strangles you to death. That's more common.
Right.
Broken neck bones. Right.
Right.
But then the autopsy report came out, and they concluded that it was a suicide. Now the problem is we're never gonna know.
Yeah, because that's the government and whoever did that.
We are never gonna know.
We're never gonna know.
And the idea that it's you're ridiculous for suggesting that he could have been killed. No, you're not ridiculous for suggesting that. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, even if he did hang himself, there's a possibility that he was sort of led to do it.
Right, exactly.
That he could have been told,
like, yo, we're gonna kill you, or if not, you could just commit suicide.
I don't think that 2 presidents don't have enough influence to sort of get at this guy. By the way, Trump and Clinton, like, being, sort of against each other, this whole idea, because one's Democrat and one's Republican. I don't know if they are now, but I know that in the past they've been pretty friendly.
Cool.
They knew each other. They have pictures together, smiling and everything.
That's what I'm saying. Back then, Trump was cool with everybody,
bro. So it's a weird thing to see what's happening politically in this country. I don't think we've ever been here before.
Right.
And I think the problem is that, one of the problems I have with Trump is just that he just doesn't give a fuck about how he talks.
That's his problem,
right?
Dude, I've seen videos of him on the news, and he's just speaking to the people that ask him questions.
And I don't think he's doing this on purpose. I don't think
just him.
He doesn't want to take heat. I mean, I think he's a narcissist. I think he loves being loved by other people.
He needs attention, bro.
He loves it. But he wants good attention. He wants people to, to love what he's doing.
It's hard.
But the problem is he's not a good speaker
at all.
He's not a presidential speaker.
What's the word that he learned and he said it a million times?
I forgot what.
It's with a C. Collusion.
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 Oh yeah.
I remember he learned that word and he said it like 80 million times.
Yeah.
Collusion.
There was no collusion.
Collusion. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, look. All right. This is the main deal with Trump from a social perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because politics is a really sensitive thing.
Rich his whole life?
Like he was rich his whole life. But the thing I'm getting at is the idea that we're in a country where usually the president, is friendly, is a good speaker, and tries to sort of, combine.
He's left.
The left,
he's super left with it. Like he's not caring how he speaks.
But he tries to. Usually, a president tries to combine the left and the right, and sort of, try to get some common ground and be really careful with what you say. But
of course.
The problem is Trump is on fucking Twitter 24/7, just trying to, clear himself up. People have been dissing him recently about the economy. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna tell people the economy's great and this and that. And we have a tax war with China. Now the problem is when the president speaks that way, we end up with a problem, and that problem is that there's a disconnect between the left and the right, and the division grows wider. We've seen like protests and shit.
Definitely.
We've seen like Charlottesville, what ended up happening there, right? Somebody died. There was a protest now where this group from the right, from the far right called the Proud Boys showed up and they wanted to protest, and then people from the far left, right, like extreme leftists from this group called Antifa, showed up and they started fucking protesting too.
Okay.
Right, and then the Proud Boys, the right guys, they left, and what was left is this group sort of just beating up random people that were there with American flags and shit. And it's ridiculous. It's a sign of cultural immaturity.
Right.
So the problem is, and if you look at all the polls and all the studies, the left and the right, they're getting further apart.
Yeah. Like,
we're getting more and more separated, and that's dangerous for a country.
Hell yeah. What about martial law?
Oh man, that's a dangerous one to think about, because the problem is
I've heard about that.
It can be necessary. I mean, Alex Jones promotes fear about this shit all the time. Like he's really into that, But in general,
what is that? How not to interrupt
the idea
you,
of martial,
the government is like taking control of
we're
everything.
taking over. We're telling people there's perhaps even a curfew. We're taking people's guns, all that good shit. Martial law can be implemented in a bunch of different ways.
That would be ugly.
But it's basically like limiting the rights of. Well, it would be ugly because America's not like other countries. People have a shitload of guns,
right?
And they're not scared to use them if shit hits the fan, right? Because
they're definitely not backing down to the government if they just say this and that.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people have the perception that the reason that we have the Second Amendment, right, to bear arms, is not necessarily just to defend yourself from somebody that's coming into your home and trying to kill you. I mean, that's a good reason to do it, but it's also for the fact that if a government gets out of line, the people are the last line of defense. Right. The people are the ones that are going to have to defend themselves. And and some people are saying, well, no, we have nuclear bombs in the military. The people wouldn't stand a chance. I think that's not really true because of the fact they're not going to blow up their entire population.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to do that because they're not going to have any resources. They're going to destroy themselves in the process.
We're going to kill ourselves.
So that's just not going to work, right?
Martial law would be scary, though.
It'd be terrifying because I think it won't really be a problem if it's implemented slowly. Yeah, which it is a problem. I don't agree that it should be done.
Slowly and nicely.
Exactly. So
not on some that's it. It's martial law. We're taking everything right now. People would flip out.
And I think we're seeing some things like that happen. But I want to talk to you about mass shootings.
Okay.
I want to get into that because that's like a phenomenon now.
Now it's not crazy.
Yeah, back then it was just like, Columbine happened.
And that was the biggest one.
And there was this bomber.
Now it's every other day.
Now it's a problem.
It's kind of scary.
It's a real problem.
It's kind of scary. Like, when I see it, bro, I'm like, first of all, who's getting these ideas to just shoot people, bro? Well, like, is this a mental thing?
It depends on who does it and why it's done, right?
Yeah.
So,
you remember the one in Florida?
Which one? There's been more than one in Florida. The school?
Yeah. What was his name? Nicholas Cruz?
Douglas Stoneman High School.
I don't remember the school, but I remember some kid named Nicholas Cruz.
Yes. I remember him.
And how many people did he kill?
It was a
like
good amount.
10, 12?
No, it was more than 10. It was like I don't know if it was 19 or if it was like 27 around there.
Because he got a gun sold to him, like an AR or whatever. Was it an AR?
I think it was an AR-15. Most of these shootings, I think, are
big guns, right?
They use AR-15.
Not no pistol.
Right. And there's the horrible one that happened was this wasn't even in the U.S., but it was in I think it was in New Zealand.
Really?
Where this guy showed up.
It's happening there too.
At a mosque. No,
okay.
this never happens in New Zealand.
Right,
This was an anomaly, right? So this guy shows up.
Okay.
And he's really, really strapped. He goes to a mosque. All these Muslims they're praying, right? They're not doing anything fucking wrong. Like they have a right to pray and believe what the fuck they want to believe. He fucking hates Muslims, this guy. He pulls up in there and he fucking shoots and kills about 50 of them.
50?
50 fucking people. And what's worse is he puts it live. He was doing it live.
You're lying.
On fucking Facebook he did this.
Oh my god. Right? That's another thing. The whole live thing. People are killing themselves on live. Yes. People are freaking shooting people on live. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole live thing is getting out of control. But some mass shootings, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. What's getting these people to do this?
I think it depends on who does it, right? Like there's
you know what they said? Not to interrupt, but I think it was recently. Was it Trump or somebody about video games? I was like, dude,
that was fucking stupid.
Come on, bro.
I had a beef with that.
Come on,
I had a beef with that. Video games are everywhere in the world. You see this here
bro?
in the U.S.
Yeah, bro. Like
now the problem is I don't like jumping to conclusions, and that's what people do because they want to answer. They want to know like why is this happening, right?
Right.
So you see people on the right going it's a mental health issue. You see people on the left going it's a fucking gun issue. Take away the guns.
Right. It's either
that's a problem.
That's what they're mostly saying.
Now, first of all, I do think we need universal background checks. I am not against that at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And people get nervous when they hear that. Like, the gun people, they get nervous when they hear that because they're like, oh,
you're going to take my guns away?
You're going to take my guns away because that's the first step. And then after that, you start taking away the rifles. And then after that, you take the pistols. And
right.
Then, pretty soon you'll be coming for my fucking kitchen knife.
For sure.
But I don't think that's really the case. I really think that's a ridiculous assumption to make. I don't think there's any evidence that if you have universal background checks, then you're going to start taking away people's guns. I don't think that it's responsible to have a nation where you allow anyone who's mentally fucking ill to get a gun.
Yeah.
And they bypass it. They have laws where you don't even have to go in there and get and show your ID or anything to get the gun.
Or like a background check right there, right
You know
quick.
what they do?
What?
You know what it's legal to do in this fucking country? You can buy a bunch of rifles. You can go to
like at Walmart or Pro Bass
anywhere, and you go to you do have to show ID for that, right?
For
and
sure.
you have to be a U.S. citizen, and you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
have a criminal record, all that
Right,
good stuff.
right.
But you show up to a fucking gun show,
Okay.
a rifle show,
And you can just buy it.
and you can just sell it to people,
Okay.
right? And you don't have to ask for ID. You don't have to do shit.
You just want the money.
So it's like overriding the rules, right? That should not be legal. It should not be legal for people who are fucking insane,
Right.
or people who just want to do horrific shit in the name of some fucked up ideology,
Right.
to be able to get
the mental. You definitely need a universal background check, and like,
Yeah.
we definitely need a. You can't be. I don't want to say wrong in the head, but
the problem with the idea of mental illness is, like, first of all, how do you define it, right?
Exactly.
How do you define
How
mental
do you
illness?
define that?
What was the mental illness? Because a lot of these people, you can tell that they do have mental issues, but it's also an ideology issue. Like, for example, if you see a person from the Middle East
Mhm.
who's radicalized,
Mhm.
right? Like, he has his own version of Islam,
Okay.
where he thinks that you have to kill people and all that good stuff.
whatever. Yeah, his little.
And he pulls up and he starts shooting a bunch of fucking people, or he blows himself up,
Okay.
right? Like what happened in the Boston bombing.
Right.
Are you going to say that was a mentally ill person, or are you going to say that it was the ideology, or was it a combination of both? I don't know.
It's too tough.
We didn't sit with the guy and diagnose him.
Exactly.
You know?
So.
And so you have to see what's the bigger deal, the ideology
Or the guns.
or the guns, or just the person's mental health. Now, a lot of these people do have mental issues.
Yeah.
Like, there was the one that happened in
I mean, could you kill people and not have mental issues?
yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, look at people in the mafia. They do that shit all the time.
Right.
I don't think they have a mental health issue. I think they come from a different environment, and they have a different ideology
right.
about what they should do.
People in Chicago are dying every other day.
People in Chicago were born into a certain environment
gangs and
where
they're
they
just killing. It's normal to them.
it's normal, exactly. So I think it's,
But even them, would they go up to like a random place and just kill 30 people?
well, I don't think they do it for the fuck of it.
Right, that's what I mean.
There's a reason for it, but the reason is the ideology.
Is every shooter doing that for a reason?
Well, I think it depends on the shooter. I do think there's some cases where the guy's just really fucked in the head.
And he just did it?
He hates everyone.
Right.
He has hatred in his heart because shit didn't work out for him.
So he's putting it out on everybody else?
And so now he's like, it didn't work out for me, and nobody gives a fuck about me, so why should I give a fuck about them?
Exactly.
And you just go in there and you just blast people, right? And then there's the other side, which is the political side, which is what some of these have been, right? It's like white supremacist
yeah, definitely.
ideologies, and
Mhm.
a lot of them get these ideas online and websites like 4chan and 8chan, and I've been warning people for a long time about this, about the idea of like pushing people, right? Like getting people off Twitter or off a mainstream platform. People don't understand what happens when you do that.
They feel some type of way? White supremacy is blocked on Twitter.